Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video, I have polishes to share with you for March Hella Handmade creations. Now, I usually swatch polishes for Hella Handmade, not as much as polished pickup. It just like all depends on, who I am working with for the month. And who's creating polishes for Hella Handmade creations. It varies all of the time. Last month I did swatch a good amount, but last month was a month and it was a month. But in the future, I plan on sharing the swatches or the polishes that I am getting for Hella Handmade, just so that you all have, something to look at, comparisons, live swatches. I know it's really helpful. Now, if you haven't heard of what Hella Handmade Creations is, it's a monthly collab between indie makers. And just like Polished Pickup, they work off of a theme, but instead of like one large common theme, the makers have their own opportunity to create polishes based on their theme. And it usually goes on for about like 4 to 5 months. So at the end, if you end up getting all of the polishes from a specific maker, it's like you have your own mini collection based on that theme. Now, same thing as Polished Pickup, the items could be capped. So there's like nail polish, nail care items, apparel, cuticle oils, like things for books, things for pets, like anything pretty much handmade. The options are endless, but I know a lot of people shop Hella Handmade for the nail polish, just as they do Polished Pickup. Now there's a cap on items as well, so only a certain amount of those products are going to be made, and once they sell out, you usually can't get your hands on them. I don't think I've ever seen Hella Handmade, like makers for Hella Handmade add products in, so just keep that in mind. They do open the 14th of every month, the 14th or the 15th. I don't know why I can never remember. Or is it the 21st? Oh my god, no, it's the 14th or the 15th, but I'll make sure to leave the right date here. And the shop opens at 12:01 a.m. Eastern time, so it doesn't matter what day of the week it falls, it's always the same time. So for me, I live on the East Coast, and I usually am not awake at that time. There has been a few times where, I happen to be awake, or I do set an alarm because there's an item or two that I really, really want, and I don't want it to sell out. Because in my experience, the capped items that have been available in the past, of course, are the ones that I want, and they would sell out by the time I would wake up at like 6, 7 in the morning. Keep that in mind if you see something that you love. If you truly love it and you need it in your life, remember the time the shop opens. Now, if you live on other time zones, I guess it doesn't really affect you, I don't think anyways. Now, this is a pre-order, so you will get your items when the shop, so you'll get your items within 3 to 4 weeks after the shop closes. Now, I think that is it for Hella Handmade. I'll make sure to leave like a little description down below, just so you can refresh yourself. Let's get into these swatches. First up is Victorian Varnish, and this is double refraction, priced at $13, and there's a cap of 200 bottles, and they are continuing their series, and I've tried to say this word like 5 times already, and I cannot, so I'm gonna leave what they're continuing with their series on, like, pop up. I'm gonna leave it right here so you can see, but it's inspired by a wizarding apothecary. And it's described as a vintage neutral base with an aqua cyan green lime when magnetized, and a beautiful purple pink shimmer running throughout. I know I've been using my magnet. Well, for me, my preference is using my magnet underneath my polish, or underneath my finger, I should say. I couldn't find that magnet, so I resorted to using a bar magnet this way. But I found that the pull actually looked very pretty on the nail. I usually like more of a like diffuse sort of magnetic look, but I didn't find that this line looked too like stark. You can obviously still see it, but it does a good job with blending in with the base color, I think anyways. I built it up in 2 coats, and I was very happy with it in 2 coats. For such a light polish, I was very surprised with the opacity. Like, look how nice, and look how this looks. Like, I love the glow. I love how the middle of the polish, which is where like the magnet strip is, just like glows. It's like an eye, like a wizard watching you, I should say, right? But I love the description of a vintage neutral base. I think it's spot on with that description. It's definitely neutral, but I love how all of the colors, like the shimmer, the magnetic strip, really brings out that vintage or that neutral base. It really pops. This one took me by surprise. I'm not one to really like gravitate towards neutral colors, but this one was very pretty, and I think it's because of that beautiful shimmer and the beautiful like greenish lime magnetic strip that's running through. It looks so magical, and it truly is a pretty color. Pictured are 2 coats of Victorian Varnish double refraction with a glossy top coat. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned, I think long or short nails, I think 2 to 3 coats is going to be okay for you. Longer nails, you may want to stick with 3 coats, just because sometimes with magnetics, the polish tends to get pulled, to where the magnet is, and so you may have some visible nail line. I've seen some swatch pictures with longer nails on the Hella Handmade Creations website, and it looks like they've all achieved full opacity, so I think 3 coats will be fine for long nail friends. So Hella Handmade Creations is actually offering Mother's Day polishes. It's actually a section on the website where certain makers are making polishes inspired for Mother's Day. Victorian Varnish is offering 2, and the first one we have here is Warm Embraces. The duo is going to be priced at $25. You're going to see the next one soon, and it's going to be a cap of $150 for both. So like altogether. Warm Embraces is a pinky mauve base with a heaping dose, yes, a heaping dose of large particle aurora shimmers that range from aquas, teals, greens, pinks, golds, and purples. Now, if you haven't tried any type of polish from Victorian Varnish, you want to try their shifty polishes. Like the shifty shimmer is just out of this world. Like, can we just stop and stare? Because just look. I swear I am now obsessed with large particle shimmer and of course hollow flakies, but it's just so stunning. It's so sparkly. You can definitely see the gold in here. I can see a tad bit of purple on extreme angles, and like the teals and the aquas, they're not very like prominent, but you can definitely see them like, I don't know how to describe it. Like you can see it from within, if that makes any sense. Like certain glances, like it may look silvery or sharp, but it's those aquas and teals that are blended in to the polish, if that makes any sense. I built this one up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, it's going to depend on your preference, whether or not you want 2 to 3 coats. Probably longer nails, you may want to lean towards the 3 coat side, just because this one is such a lighter color. But I feel like the heaping dose of this large particle shimmer is going to do a good job with covering up some nail line. This is a beautiful color and perfect for Mother's Day. Pictured are 2 coats of Warm Embraces with a glossy top coat. Here is the second polish in the duo, and this is Bouquets of Laughter. It's described as a light blue crelly packed with blue-purple large particle shifting shimmers scattered throughout and a multitude of iridescent and pastel glitters in different sizes. I love the descriptions from Victorian Varnish. Like they're always so descriptive, and they really make sure like whatever is put into the polish that you're gonna read it and you're gonna know what's in your polish. This one is such a pretty color. I love these types of blues where it's almost like periwinkle with like a splash of purple in there. It just, I don't know, I find it very flattering and very spring-like, of course, like Mother's Day and spring. The glitters, I didn't do a good job of shaking up my bottle, so I didn't have a lot of glitter dispersal on my nails. I mean, I was happy with what I did have on my nails that came out. I remember back in the day when I first got into polish, I was obsessed with Crellies, obsessed. Like they made up majority of my collection back in the day, but now I'm not like too much into like the crelly sort of polishes. Once in a while I may be craving one and I'll wear it. But this one, I feel like I had control of how much glitter I wanted to put on my nails, whether or not like I shake the bottle aggressively and get everything like swirling through, or just kind of, like put the brush in the bottle and kind of like, scraped some of the glitters off of the brush. So I definitely had that option to play around with. The beautiful like shifty shimmers that are scattered throughout give this polish a nice like twinkle. It doesn't make it just look flat, right? It doesn't just look like a blue crelly with some like pastel glitters. Like there's something else, and it's so pretty. I love all of the components in this polish. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is just going to depend on your preference as well. Pictured are 2 coats of Bouquets of Laughter with a glossy top coat. Here we have Cuticula, and this is Night Thorns. This is priced at $13, and there is no cap. And they are continuing their series, Dream Light Valley series, with this polish. It's described as a plum base with green, purple, multichrome shimmer, green, blue, purple shifting shimmer, and silver holographic flakies. This one is definitely a stunner and has an amazing formula. I achieved opacity in just 2 coats, and I think long or short nails, 2 coats is going to be fine for you. There's so much going on in this polish, and I am in love with it. I love the beautiful shifty shimmer that this has. You can definitely see the specks of blue and the specks of green when you are moving your hand around, when you're angling your hand. There is a heaping amount of those beautiful silver holographic flakies for sure. My purple polish lovers, this is definitely going to be one for you. It is definitely more bold and vibrant in person. I know that you're seeing it in this video, and I'm sure it looks bold. I hope it does, but in person it definitely is much more bold and bright and fun. Definitely loving all the combos with the greens and the purples and the blues. It's very pretty. Pictured are 2 coats of Cuticula Night Thorns with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have Dawn Polish, and this is the amazing Super Pup, priced at $13.50, and there's only 100 of them available. Dawn Polish is continuing their Hello Kitty and Friends series. So the amazing Super Pup is a white crelly with assorted light blue and yellow glitters with a dusting of black hollow micro glitters and blue shimmer. I think long or short nails, 3 coats is going to be best for you, and you want to work in thin coats because there's so much going on in this polish. There's lots of glitters, so it can get thick and goopy real quick. So just keep that in mind. You're going to want to use a glitter smoother as well, and then your glossy top coat to finish everything off. I love the addition of these black micro glitters in here, especially because you have such light colors, such light and fun colors, and then just the addition of that gives it a little edge. I think this is a very fun color for the spring, very fun for the summertime. I think this actually would look super cute as a pedicure as well. Like I said, back in the day, I was so obsessed with crelly polishes, and not that I don't love them anymore. I think they're so fun, but obviously, like, I've grown to have my favorite types of polishes, but this is something I can definitely see myself wearing in the springtime for sure. Pictured are 3 coats of Dawn Polish, the amazing Super Pup with a glossy top coat. Here we have Garden Path Lacquers, and this is My Pet What, priced at $13.50, and there is no cap, and Garden Path Lacquers is continuing their retro toys theme with this polish. My Pet What is described as a teal turquoise jelly base filled with purple holographic micro glitters and blue-green aurora shimmer. Oh goodness, this polish is beautiful. The glow factor is just insane. I don't know how these makers do it and add these components to the polish that just make them pop and shine so like greatly. I'm just like in awe. In person, this polish is even more stunning. I think long or short nails, 2 coats should be fine for you. If you have super long nails and a predominant nail line, maybe 3 coats, but honestly, I think 2 is gonna be fine for you. These shifts are just so beautiful. You don't have to do a lot to really get that beautiful glowy, like intense look. It's just such a bright, such a bold shade. Definitely perfect for spring, for sure perfect for the summertime. I am obsessed with this polish. Usually like micro glitters is like, they're not always my favorite type of polish to wear. And that's because like getting a clean line, like your cleanup line, it's just really difficult because like you have so many tiny little glitters, right? So it's hard to get that sharp edge. But I didn't find any difficulty with this one because everything is just so jam-packed in there. Such a stunning polish. Pictured are 2 coats of Garden Path Lacquers, My Pet What, with a glossy top coat. Next up, we have BCB Lacquers, and they also have a duo that's going to be available for Mother's Day. So I'm going to be showing you this one and then another polish afterwards. It's going to be priced at $27, and there's 200. It's capped at 200 for both of these bottles. So altogether, 200 of the duo is available. So first up, we have food at home, and I'm just laughing because I say these things too to my kids, but the We Have Food at Home is a peach when indoors to a blurple when outdoors, and it has pink, orange, gold shifting shimmer. This was my first time. So these are solar polishes. They're both solar polishes. This was my first time working with solar polishes, or actually even painting my nails with solar polishes, so it was actually really fun to see the difference in shades. This is actually a really pretty peach color. I think it's actually really flattering on my skin tone. It almost leans a little bit neon, not entirely, but just like more brighter than your average peach shade, I think. I think it has a lot to do with the beautiful shimmer that's running throughout here as well. I built it up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, 2 coats is going to work for you too. And then here it is in the sun. So you can see that it definitely turns to a much, much lighter shade. Like this angle right here, it's hard to tell from, to see that like blurple shade, but when I am, my back is behind the sun, so you can see more directly. So it definitely is a blurple shade. I think it's beautiful either way, whether you have this peachy color or whether you have this blurple shade. The shimmer is still really predominant in either the sun or in indirect light. Very interesting to work with. I thought it was really cool. So here you have 2 coats of We Have Food at Home with a glossy top coat. And this is when it's outdoors, when the sun is directly on it. Now we're moving on to the second polish in the duo, and this is Because I Said So. Again, I love the name. If you have kids, then you know. But this one is a white when it's indoors, and then a bright purple when outdoors. And it has a purple-blue shifting shimmer. This is really, really pretty. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is going to be fine for you. I think this would look actually really nice as a pedicure in the summertime, and because of the solar properties that it has as well. It has this beautiful like milky kind of tint to it, but then you see that beautiful purple bluish sort of shimmer running throughout, which is really, really nice. It just gives a spin on like your regular like white pedicure if you decide to wear one. And then here it is when I am standing in the sun. So the sun is on my chest, and then when I turn around, it's going to be to my back, so you can see a little more directly. So it turns to this beautiful bright purple shade. You can still see like that milky neutral sort of base to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but these 2 were really fun to work with. I think they look beautiful in all 4 types of lighting for sure. If you haven't tried solar polish, I think you definitely should. It's very fun to work with. Pictured are 2 coats of Because I Said So with a glossy top coat and in direct sunny light. BCB Lacquers is also bringing us another polish, and this is Trickster Fox, priced at $13, and there's a cap of 200 bottles, and they're continuing their mythological creatures series with this polish. It's an orange hollow base with orange gold pink shifting shimmer. Did I say there's 200 available? I don't remember if I said it or not. There's 200 bottles. This one built up beautifully in just 2 coats. The hollow is very intense. You can definitely see the hollow flame. Unfortunately, I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't take a picture of this in the sun, even though I was swatching during the day when I had sun. But it is a beautiful color. It almost reminds me of like a coppery regal gold sort of shade. It's a very beautiful color, and like, not that it's simple, but it's just, it speaks volume with not having a lot of components in it. Very, very beautiful polish. I think it's beautiful for all year round. This will look beautiful in the fall, in the winter, and even in the summertime, really. Pictured are 2 coats of BCB Lacquers Trickster Fox with a glossy top coat. BCB Lacquers is also bringing us a cuticle oil click pen, priced at $7.50, and there's 150 of these available, and it's going along with their mythological creatures series. The scents of this cuticle oil, so I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but it's Artemisia leaves. I don't know. Ambret, white pepper, white tea, musk, and woody amber. So there is the top part that you click down. You just click, 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 and the oil is going to come out. Here I am trying to cap it, but you twist it. Yep, you don't push down, you twist. I realized that after the fact. But you have jojoba oil in here, you have coconut oil, sunflower oil, avocado, almond, tea tree, and it's a skin safe fragrance. Now, the scent that I would describe this as, it's really tough. It's not very strong. So usually BCB lacquers, their cuticle oils, all of their scents are super, super strong. This one definitely isn't, and I don't know. It gives me a sense of calm. I've actually been using it to swatch in between all of the polishes that I've been using or that I've been swatching. It's just such a fresh, inviting fragrance, and I don't know. I feel very relaxed when I'm using it, and I don't know if the certain like scent notes in here have anything to do with that, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've been using it nonstop. Next up is Night Owl Lacquer, and this is Chafing My Hunkers. This is priced at $13, and there is no cap, and they're continuing their series with Bob's Burgers theme or series theme. Their series. It is described as a peach glowing with iridescent shimmer that shifts a violet, pink, peach, gold, and green. Such a beautiful, delicate shade. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is going to work best for you. Probably longer nails, you might want to do 3 coats. I know on my shorter nails, 2 coats was fine for me. You can see all those beautiful shifts. You can see the pink. You can see the violet at extreme angles. The gold for sure you can see, and the green, you just get those like glimpses of green in there. I think this is a nice, fresh, fun color for springtime. Definitely leans more on the warmer end, so just keep that in mind. But honestly, I think it looks fine against like my warmer, tanner skin tone. I think because you have all those beautiful shifts in there, that it plays with that base color, and doesn't make it look too like mannequin like, you know what I mean? I don't get those vibes anyways, but it's a beautiful shade. Pictured are 2 coats of Night Owl Lacquer, chafing my honkers with a glossy top coat. Here we have Zombie Claw, and this is Mitch Rocks, priced at $13.50, and there's a 100 bottle cap. They are continuing their Powpuff Girls series, and it's described as a dark chocolate base with blue-green electric shimmer. This one's different, but different in a good way, and I'm surprised how much I love it, because it reminds me more of a neutral sort of shade, but there's something in here, some magic potion that just makes this glow. Like I said, I don't know how these makers do it. That electric shimmer, like what is that? It definitely is electric. It is stunning. I definitely see a beautiful pink shift that isn't described in this polish, but it's there and it's gorgeous. The green and the blue, super vibrant, super glowy. I don't know if I mentioned this already, long or short nails, I think 2 to 3 coats, just going to depend on your preference. Honestly, like long nail friends, even if you had this in 2 coats and you had some nail line, which I'm looking on the Hella Handmade Creation site right now, and a lot of the longer nail photos or swatches, you can't see any nail line. But honestly, like even if you saw a peak of nail line with this, I think it would look so pretty just because of how glowy this is. Some polishes that are more on the sheer side just have that special effect when you have some nail line peeking through. It just, only certain polishes can do that and look nice, in my opinion anyways, and I think this is definitely one of them. It's a beautiful, interesting shade, something that I don't think I have in my collection. No, I don't. It's very pretty. Pictured are 2 coats of Zombie Claw Mitch Rocks with a glossy top coat. And lastly, but definitely not least, we have Rogue Lacquer, and this is Mermaid Lagoon, priced at $13, and there is no cap, and they're continuing their Peter Pan series. Mermaid Lagoon is a rich blurple crelly with a rainbow of glass flakies. Rogue Lacquer just knows what they're doing when it comes to these sort of flaky polishes. I ended up going in for a 3rd coat, but honestly, I don't think I really needed to. I just kind of wanted to see like, what would it look like if I did a 3rd coat? And honestly, it didn't really do much. I mean, it did deepen up the base just a tad bit more, but I think 2 coats is going to be perfect on long or short nails. You have so much of those flakies packs in here that you're going to get perfect coverage on the 1st and the 2nd coat, definitely the 2nd coat. With flaky polishes like this, I always tend to do a glitter smoother and then a glossy top coat over it. Not that you get a lot of texture, it's just that you get that more plump, fuller effect when you do that. But I love the vibrancy of this shade. I think it's perfect for the summertime. I think it's perfect for spring. I'm a big fan of those rainbow glass flakies. I like rainbow flakies, but more of an opaque sort of rainbow flaky. But I feel like these, even though they're described as glass flakies, I feel like they're still pretty opaque anyways. And it could have to do with the darker base. I don't know, but I enjoy this polish for sure. Pictured are 3 coats of Rogue Lacquer Mermaid Lagoon with a glossy top coat, even though I only think you need 2 coats. All right, everybody. So lots of pretties, lots of different types of polishes that I've actually never tried, like the solar polishes. That was pretty cool to work with. I don't actually own any other solar polishes other than those from BCB Lacquers, so that was pretty neat. But I am picking one that was a standout for me, and it's from Garden Path Lacquers. It is My Pet What. This is so beautiful. My nails are bare because I am swatching this weekend. I'm filming this on a Saturday, so I will be swatching, and I mean, they've been bare for a little while now. I've just been busy with lots of swatching, so I want to just get that out of the way, the swatching portion, so that way I can enjoy polish on my nails. But anyways, back to this polish. This is beautiful. It built up wonderfully. The glow is insane. The color shifts are just stunning. It just looks like it's radiating off of your nails. It is so beautiful. Like, honestly, I think this is a pretty polish to wear any season. If you want to wear something in the summer, if you want to wear this in the summer, I think it's bright enough. If you want to wear it in the winter, I think it blends in with, like, you know, the bluish tones, but still gives you that pop of color on your nails. It's just very pretty. Garden Path Lacquers always knows how to add that glow into their polishes. All right, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up any of these items or what you are planning on wish listing. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one.